All right, today we're going to look at the NFC East free agents and cap situation. We have Philadelphia, 14-3, leading the NFC East. Washington, a surprise kind of. Jaden Daniels led them to 12-5, and Dallas fell to 7-10. Little surprise there, falling out. And the Giants, no surprise really here, finishing last, 3-14, though they got a good draft pick. So we're excited about that. And of course, the news is here Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl, right? The tush push powered them to that Super Bowl win. So they're trying to ban it. It's so lethal, huh? So see how they go on that. So let's get started here with Philadelphia. The good news is for Philadelphia, 14-3 record, but they have plenty of cap space, $21 million, and they have no free agency to speak of. All right? Philadelphia, Barkley, that big free agent last year, powered him 2,000 yards. Just what a great pickup last year. But this year, you can see here, they have the first free agent is C.J. Uzomah, and he's a tight end that didn't even play last year. So, and he's in his 10th year. I mean, hey, no worries there. And the next one is a receiver, and 34 yards receiving. So it really doesn't matter. He was in his third year. Signed a 1-year contract last year, but really nothing for him. And the biggest one they have, and the only one really that matters, is Kenneth Gainwell. And it doesn't really matter. He is done with his 4-year rookie contract out of Memphis. They spent that year with our time with Philadelphia, now paying him less than $1 million here. But you can see he did finish with 400 yards from scrimmage and 1 touchdown as the backup. And you're saying, well, that isn't very much. But hey, with Barkley getting 2,000, well, you're not going to get very much. So anyway, so here he is. They do have Will Shipley here. So Will Shipley, he came in and got a few yards. Neither of them got any yards, but he was a rookie last year out of Clemson. So you see that, he's under toll, making a little bit more on his rookie contract than Kenneth Gainwell even. So, Kenneth Gainwell has a chance to go out and become a free agent, find him a new team, maybe get some action instead of sitting behind Barkley the whole time. So let's go to Washington. Washington's got some action, at least something going on. Philadelphia with no free agents. Washington has $80 million in cap space, so they can sign and do what they want. They have a new owner recently, and is he going to be wanting to spend a lot of money? You know, the only free agent, top one, was Marcus Mariota last year. You know, didn't get into the game much last game when it didn't matter. And, you know, he's a 10-year veteran. So provided guidance and leadership to the young rookie Jaden Daniels. So are they going to bring him back? Is he worth it? Can they get him cheap? I mean, they got money to go get, but maybe they bring in a different backup for that guidance. Oh, maybe they keep Marcus Mariota. Haven't seen much on that. Looked around. All right, well, the other big one is the biggest, I would think, is Zach Ertz. What are they going to do with him? 12th year. He's signed a 1-year, $3 million contract last year. Of course, he got very good here. You can see that he finished with 654 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's an 8th for the tight ends. So he finished 8th in tight ends. Are they going to re-sign him? He's the big one. Of course, they drafted this Ben Sinnott. Was a rookie last year. Hey, maybe preparing, kind of a high draft pick, 2nd round. So maybe they were getting ready to replace Zach Ertz. Will he? I mean, he didn't get any yards last year. So, I mean, you see that 28 yards and 1 touchdown. The backup tight end was more of this Bates, Jonathan Bates, who's also a free agent. He got 84 yards. So, hey, he's also a free agent. Or a free agent. I don't know about him. And Zach Ertz pretty well commanded. So I guess they're going to figure out if they're going to re-sign him, what they're going to do with him. Maybe they just rely on the rookie center. Hey, they got plenty of money. Just depends on, and it depends on where Zach Ertz wants to play. But man, they made the playoffs last year. They're up and coming. Maybe they stick with him. So the big news with Washington is all the free agent receivers. All right, KJ Osborne, first one, got paid $4 million last year on a 1-year contract. Well, he's done. 57 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Didn't even do enough for me to get a Washington picture of him. All right, so I would think they would let him go, right? How about Jamison Crowder? He was next with a $1.3 million. Signed him on a 1-year deal last year. And didn't really do much. Got it set that towards the very end. 72 yards and 2 touchdowns is what he's got. So, hey, who knows what they're willing to do with him. And here's a good one, Zacchaeus. Right? He's a 1-year. All the receivers are coming up for either a new contract or maybe get some new receivers in. So, Zacchaeus, though, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pretty surprising. He's in his 6th year, so he's been around. So, performed pretty good last year. We get enough to get another year contract, maybe 2. I don't know if they want to sign him too long. All right, so then it's wide receiver galore. Here's another one, De'Ami Brown. He was the end of his contract, his rookie contract, 4 years. Getting paid $1.2 million last year. Well, he got 300 yards and 1 touchdown. So you can see that's only 2.5 a game. I mean, yeah, you're not going to bank on that if you're trying to play him in fantasy. But would they bring him back? He's a free agent. I mean, and Noah Brown. He was on a 1-year contract last year. He's in his 8th year out of Ohio State. Had some time with Dallas. He got in 453. He made noise a little bit. So they got the world is open to them. You know, they have all these free agent wide receivers, clean house, get some new ones, maybe draft one. I bet there might be some wide receiver free agents willing to go. All right, let's look at the very first one. Is Stephon Diggs hurt? T. Higgins, no way. Keenan Allen, I mean, he'll be available. I mean, maybe the Bears try to bring him back. I think he said he'll only want to play for the Bears and Chargers. So, Amari Cooper, what's he going to do? You're going to look through some of the free agent wide receivers here. So, I don't know about he'd be too good a fit. Chris Godwin, all these are going to be too high priced. But how about Hopkins? You know, maybe get him on a 1-year contract, little veteran. Mike Williams. There's just who knows? World's open for him. There's some wide receivers out there in free agency. Here's KJ Osborne, what they had. But we'll see how that ends up. So going back to Washington, that's about it on the popped into Dallas a little early. So Mariota, the wide receivers, they got plenty of money. Of course, Terry McLaurin, their best receiver last year, finished 5th. So they got him in tow. How many more years they got on him on his contract? Last year. They might have to spend some money on him. That's coming up. So they'll have to worry about him coming up. Maybe they'll try to extend him. I'll have to look over his contract, see where he's going. But other than that, Washington at wide receivers. And got a good quarterback to pair him with. Jaden Daniels, right? So, hey, he did explosive last year. So, let's move on to Dallas. Dallas Cowboys have no cap space. All right? Minus $2 million. So, they're going to have to make some moves. Well, the top one on their list is Brandon Cooks. Look at that, making almost $20 million last year. He's in his 11th year out of Oregon State. So he's getting old and didn't perform much. You can see 259 yards, 3 touchdowns. Do they bring him back? I mean, here you go. Last year for them, it was CeeDee Lamb leading the way. And Jalen Tolbert, he came in with 610 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was a 3rd year. He still has 1 more year on his contract. So, hey, they'll have to work him. But Brandon Cooks, they'll get rid of him. And let's see what else they have at wide receiver. Oh, Turpin. Hey, he filled in and got some action last year. 412 yards and 10 touchdowns. So, Cavante Turpin, he looks like he's a free agent. So, are they going to sign him? So, Dallas has got some room to make some move at the second wide receiver position. Maybe keep Tolbert here. Turpin, I don't know. But maybe bring in a second one to improve on that offense. Although passing was 11th, but they slipped to 17th overall. So, Dallas is, let's go there. The other one is the free agents here, the quarterbacks. Trey Lance, his rookie contract is up, getting paid $8.5 million last year. All right, so San Francisco drafted him originally, so he is up for them. I don't see them re-signing him or spending that kind of money. Cooper, because they have Cooper Rush to bring in. He's a free agent. Maybe they go a different route on backup quarterbacks. But hey, they have room to maneuver, right? That's what's great about this free agency. Redo your team. Like Washington gets to redo their wide receivers. Well, Dallas gets a chance here to change their backup quarterback. Get a new one. How about, here's one of their most important ones here on Dallas is this Rico Dowdell. All right, he is out of contract, signed a 1-year contract last year. Maybe we wish they would have extended him a little bit more. Ended up with 1,300 yards from scrimmage. Only 5 touchdowns, but hey, scoring down on Dallas last year. He get on a new team, get 10 touchdowns in that, he'll be making some noise, right? Ended up the 22 fantasy football finish at running back. Came in, figured out as the 38th. Of course, Ezekiel Elliott didn't fire last year. Got fired. He moved on at the end of the year, and he picked up by the Chargers in case for their playoff run. But he didn't work out, so Dallas has got an empty running backs position. So Dallas is almost in a rebuild here. It looks like, even though you got all that money tied up in Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, $60 million to 2028. So a lot of money tied up in him. And, of course, C.D. Lamb held out last year. Got his money. Hey, 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. That isn't bad. Of course, didn't have the blowout year he did the year before. But, so they have some core there, but $2 million under the cap. They need to get this running back situation figured out. Bring in Ricky Dowdell, or he'll get some money. I'll tell you what, the running back last year, everybody was a running back free agent last year. This year, Aaron Jones, he'll hopefully re-sign with Minnesota, and then Mostert, not too many interests there. They're just Najee Harris. I mean, hey, I don't see them bringing in him, but maybe they do. Hey, they got the money. Team him with Dowdell. Although Dowdell's wanting to get paid, he'll probably go somewhere else then if you do something like that. Jeff Wilson, see, there just isn't very many free agent. J.K. Dobbins, maybe they'll re-sign. These were re-signed with the team. But the point is, there isn't very many running backs, free agents, worth much. So they better get Dowdell in the house. Talked about Turpin, their only other free agent, the wide receivers. So Dallas has got to get some moves going, don't they? Let's go look at the Giants. Giants 3-14. Biggest free agent is Slayton, Darius Slayton, $6 million. They signed him to a 2-year contract. He's in his 6th year last year. Tried to get him to stay. Hey, 573 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I've heard his name. Oh, we're going to pick up Slayton like he's the big prize in free agency. A lot of wide receiver free agents, though, isn't there? We have Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks we talked about. Getting paid a lot. Hopkins, Mike Williams, Robert Woods, Marquise Hollywood Brown. So there isn't a whole bunch. Need to find someone. I mean, they're going to let Slayton go. I mean, they have $45 million in CAC. It isn't like the Giants are going to win next year. There's talk about Stafford going there as quarterback and all this other to get a big payday. Daboll's in his last year of his contract. If he's trying to stay, he may get moved. Are they going to keep so they need to win now as far as him. Daniel Jones, of course, failed. They're looking for a quarterback. So they might go free agency. Drew Lock is available as a free agent. So they don't have him. And the other one, see, he filled in late last year for them. The other one is way down here at the bottom, Tommy DeVito, getting paid less than $1 million. He's a free agent now. So he got in there last year a little bit, not a lot. But so they have free agent or quarterback is what they're going to be needing to pick up here in the Giants. Are they going to pick one in the draft, their third pick? Is that Ward or Sanders going to be available for them? That's what we got to find out. Tyrone Tracy came on. That's one of the best things they have. Of course, here he is with 1,000 yards from scrimmage, 6 touchdowns, finished 26th. Of course, Devin Singletary, brought in last year via free agency, finished 48th, kind of a disappointment. Or maybe Tracy coming on was what led to that. So, but you can see he was the big signing last year. So that's about it on their free agency. Not a whole bunch, but they got plenty of room to go, and they got so far to go here at 10-3 or 3-14. They got a lot of rebuilding to do. All right. Hey, if you're liking what you're seeing, please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like. Give me a subscriber. All right, it's that time. I'm going to fill my shorts. Warning, this is a rapid repeat. Repeat to fill my shorts. FantasyAI, NFC East free agents. Jamison Crowder for Washington. Zacchaeus for Washington. Noah Brown for Washington. All wide receivers. Diami Brown, wide receiver for Washington. All free agents. And that's not to mention KJ Osborne, free agent. I guess I mentioned him. But all free agents, they can clean house, get new wide receivers. Darius Slayton for the Giants. $6 million last year. He's looking for work. He's a free agent. Brandon Cooks, $20 million for Dallas last year. 259 yards received. Maybe move on from him. Marcus Mariota, $6 million last year as the backup there in Washington. Provided guidance for Jaden Daniels, maybe bring him back. Only Philadelphia free agent to speak of is Kenneth Gainwell, backup running back. Zach Ertz, tight end for Washington, big free agent here. What are they going to do with him? And the biggest from the NFC East is Ricky Dowdell, running back.